Well, while Leaf continues his tyrannical reign on the desk, Subi, we'll take care of business here on the cast and watch Rogue and NRG duke it out here in the semifinals. This is it's boiling to be a good one.
Yeah, this is something special, especially when you look back to the Winter Major and we got to see the rare bracket reset pulled out by Rogue, but they couldn't get the job done. And you know, this has to be one of the most exciting matchups in all North America. You want to talk about two teams being close? Well, this is about as close-knit as you can get.
It's definitely going to be tough to follow up that FaZe Rebellion match for sure, but Taroko will start off with a bang.
Yeah, not a great way to start for NRG. Turinturo, great poke into that corner and a monster 50-50 in the box to win that one. And Taroko close in tow. Gonna put the first one on the board there for Rogue and only took 13 seconds.
Turinturo getting that bump, it just shows you how this match might go for Rogue in the orange half. It's onslaught of offense. Still the shots are coming. Taroko off the crossbar. First killer sends another one up. Squishy can grab the ball and Garrett will get a much needed clear.
Yeah, and smart clear as well, going opposite side of the field, but first killer drop down pass and good touch there by Squishy, and NRG gonna have numbers on this play, but back to even strength as first killer demolishes Justin, and been really impressed with the aggression we've seen in the first 45 seconds of this match from Rogue.
Hey, kind of what you would expect with Rogue, right? It's how they like to play the game fast and aggressive, and closely getting off the post. Garrett grabbing the rebound. NRG will take this to a tie game.
Yeah, just a poor mistake there from Turinturo. Tries to get on that back wall and gets a good clear, but unfortunately right into the hands of Garrett, waiting at the top of the box, and just like that, NRG tie us up.
NRG have looked solid this weekend, but so have Rogue. Rogue had a great group stage overall and played an excellent game against Space Station in the quarterfinals. Looking like Championship Sunday Rogue, but NRG will be difficult in this match, though Taroko and First Kill are going to work down the field.
Yeah, Rogue showing up on Sundays as usual, like you said, and then also NRG. They're hit and miss on Sundays when they show up, but this is looking like an NRG team that is on top, and we saw that on the regional leaderboard, on top of North America after their performance this weekend, and man, have they just been so good, so consistent. And Justin, I'm gonna send this into the side as we're nearing halftime. Both teams kind of slowed down, everything settled down as these teams realize what's on the line.
Well, I mean, NRG kind of had the most unexpected result of the day, sweeping Envy. A result I don't think any of us really expected, considering how consistent Envy had been. I thought maybe that was an omen heading into this match. But Rogue have done a good job stopping NRG for the most part, and First Killer coming off the backboard. We'll have the save for Rogue.
Man, the mechanics to be able to get to that ball, so impressive. I believe it was Squishy on the goal line hounding him. And not the best clear, and Squishy went for the soft touch. It was the right shot, unfortunately, just a little off of his mark as he was going for that upper 90, and see Turinturo getting beat by Justin. NRG got a few numbers. Garrett G can't quite get the shot there, but that's a beautiful pass, and Squishy turned away again. Turinturo and First Killer both getting those insane saves coming out of the goal line.
Oh, they got that clear off the double too, but Garrett sends the ball right back. NRG not wasting any time in the orange half. Not for lack of trying for Rogue's effort, though. They're using the entire Z-axis to try to get around NRG. Taroko pops this one up in front. That'll be Squishy getting the clear for Garrett downfield.
An interesting touch there by Garrett. You'd expect him to push that straight towards the goal line. Instead, he goes into the corner to work their offense, and didn't work that time. But I love the idea there of just changing things up and making Rogue stay on their toes because of the change of pace on offense.
Well, Turo grabs the ball, but Garrett lets it drop for Justin, and saved by Turinturo. Garrett never had the boost to get that read. At First Killer on the transition might have set up Rogue for success, but Taroko has to play it back over to the corner. Still, you like the creativity from Garrett G earlier on the blue half.
Yeah, but I'm liking the saves even more from Rogue. 3 clutch saves on the goal line from Rogue, and Squishy playing fullback. Doesn't get a touch on Turinturo, but NRG have pulled out almost every trick in the book so far in game number 1, and Rogue has continued to stifle them.
Rogue have also struggled in the orange half, though, for their efforts. A couple of crossbar hits and a couple of close ones, slipping it under Turinturo. Rogue are crashing the net when they get a chance. Another demo on net. If Taroko can create something out of it, well, 4 players collide. Nothing really materializes out of it. It is a battle in midfield for some sort of consistent possession, but it's been tough. Justin works laterally to keep the ball away from First Killer and Taroko. Garrett gonna push downfield for NRG.
Oh, and Justin's gonna win that, and he doesn't. Oh, almost gets the redirect on target, but crossbar denies, and 30 seconds remain here in game number 1. All knotted up, and this one unfolding exactly, I think, the way everyone predicted. So close.
Nice challenge from Taroko. Nice pop by Taroko off the crossbar. No read for Garrett, and it slips under him. First Killer punishes him. Rogue have a late lead.
And that's all it takes. Just a simple mistake on the back line, and Garrett G so good, but just misreads that, and basically a 90-degree angle. That's why you saw him flip backwards when he was trying to go forwards, and First Killer just rolling that underneath the defense.
But those 2 quick wins from Taroko, the first one in midfield, and then that pop to get over the second defender, you're really gonna force Garrett to squeeze to try to get that save. NRG a last chance on Manfield to get the tie game. A squishy low boost. You can only force the challenge. Ball comes straight down, and Justin kicks it up with under a second. NRG marching down the pitch. Garrett, a little bit more boost underneath, and Taroko will knock it back down for Rogue.
And honestly, an offensive output, or an output, I just tripped over so many words there, Zorby, and I apologize, but an offensive showing from both teams. And you think it's defensive because you look at the amount of saves, but it was just so back and forth, ping pong throughout the entire match. And honestly, I think it was a pretty sloppy game from NRG, and Rogue forced to put up so many saves. But if NRG start cleaning this thing up, they're going to be dangerous on the offensive half.
I mean, there were, like, the very start of the game when after Rogue scored their first goal, like, they just kept coming after NRG's net. They were trying to find the top of it, kept hitting the crossbar. NRG were getting good enough clears after the fact to force Rogue to actually have to rotate to their own corners. But the transition game might be the X factor for both of these squads, because I don't know if right now either team are going to have that oppressive offense that some teams really like to get going. Both teams are just so good on defense, getting the ball away from the opposition.
Yeah, and we didn't see too many fast breaks in that game, and I think we saw a handful total, but we saw a few from NRG, and one specifically where they tried to run that fullback position. Squishy had his head down, just looking for a demo on the back half, and Rogue did such a great job of avoiding that and also covering up the back half to really just show what teamwork is all about. Just, okay, if you do get demoed, I have the back post covered for you.
Rogue trying to cover up the ball again, and First Killer gives another one to Taroko, but he had to swing wide for that next touch. Turo just somehow getting a little touch off of an NRG car. Justin taking this one away can at least force a 50. Trench warfare right now for both teams. Trying to win each 50, and none of them winning enough in a row to really put the pressure on NRG or Rogue for that matter.
Oh, nice shot there by Squishy. And that was only the second one from NRG. Things definitely slowing down here in game 1, turning into a defensive battle as that ball just bombed downfield and bombed right back as Justin puts it off the backboard. But Rogue doing a great job. And you see Taroko back up there doing a great job of covering up that backboard to just cancel out any offensive plays that NRG's trying to work.
Turo's over him too. And Taroko, the initial misread, but Turo gives him another look at it. First Killer, he's just going to stay on the ground for that one and then leave the ball for Turo. Rogue just trying to keep possession underneath Turo. Can't get over Squishy, who's been all over Rogue on the defense. Justin next up on the read. NRG, every read has had to be perfect. Every read has been. Garrett, Squishy working to try to get this clear, but NRG have really struggled to get the ball away from Rogue. Even there, Turo able to shave that ball out. Justin finally finds Garrett. It's too hard for First Killer to save. NRG take the lead.
You blink and you miss it just like that. They're out of their defensive half and the pass comes out and Garrett G just snipes the upper half of the net and first killer can't get up there in time. Great defensive sequence turns into offense for NRG.
And again, it's that transition. NRG were facing a lot of pressure, but it was just pressure to buy more space for Rogue. They weren't able to get a ton of quality shots on target. And just NRG finds that gap against Rogue and they pick it. Justin on the opposite side of the pitch though, down beneath. And Squishy playing it away from Turo, but he'll push the ball right back to NRG territory.
And what I was noticing, Jorby, in about the first 2 minutes of gameplay before NRG scored that goal was their second man for those follow-ups is just a little too spaced out, and that's why you continued to see Rogue just push that ball back into the orange half, and NRG starting to tighten things up, but watch out because if they tighten it up too much, they're going to give up their back line, and those booming clears could go over their head.
Rogue are still finding space as well. We'll see if they can close, or if NRG can start to close that gap. Garrett, not the flip you want, and Turo is gonna punish you every time. Rogue tie it up.
A second mechanical mistake here from Garrett. You just see him whoopsie-daisy flip right on by, and Turo just gonna catch and carry all the way into the orange half. Gotta make sure you tighten things up here. You don't want to give away freebies, especially to a dangerous offensive team like Rogue.
It especially hurts when you feel like you've performed well enough on defense so far, where you're able to get the clears. You're still able to find each other in space, but then one just slips beneath you. You end up back flipping or side flipping when you didn't want to, and that's the one mistake that goes in. That's the name of the game so far on Forbidden Temple. Taroko, low shot taken away.
And that's what separates the good teams from the great, are the teams that are able to capitalize on those little mistakes from their opponents. And that's why Rogue is so dangerous. Not only do they have the crazy mechanics that all three players are capable of, but they also have the ability to just go, oh, snap shoot? Okay, I can shoot that target, no problem. And we've seen that twice now in this series.
Good read from Justin to grab the rebound. Rogue continuing to just smack face into the wall. It's a nice touch from Squishy. Garrett's got a little bit of space. High ball, first killer. Nice catch right over Justin.
Yeah.
And first killer out of boost, but can still force the 50 and steal boost on his way out. But there's still going to be a lane for NRG here. Squishy and Garrett working their way back out.
Justin had Squishy available upfield, but it looked like he was low on boost, decided to rotate back, and all three members elect to just cover up the back line. Nobody really challenging up towards midfield, and Turo gets beat on this one. Squishy has Garrett available, but Taroko sniffed that one out. They have seen infield passes from NRG so many times, you better believe they're going to continue to cover him up.
Good read from Justin. Taroko got the initial fake, but couldn't get over another defender. And now Garrett, a little bit more space, gets underneath, but can't get back to the ball. And it's a nice clear for Turo. Regulation coming to a close. Justin. He doesn't have any support. Got blown through by first killer. Turo.
There it is.
The ball in the corner, but the net's wide open. Nobody's home. And what happened to Rogue on defense? NRG get a freebie.
Oh my goodness. They got too confident in their ability to get those neutral 50-50s. All three members push up, and Garrett G punishes. 2 seconds remain. Rogue got to pull out an amazing kickoff.
Oh, you had it in hand. And you got a little over-aggressive in a spot where you really couldn't find yourself with all three cars in the orange corner with time ticking away in a tie game. And you somehow come away on Forbidden Temple losing in regulation when, by all accounts, Subi, this should have went to overtime.
1,000,000%, but that's what determines a great player, the ability to make up for those mistakes. And Garrett G had the mistake that led to the solo Rogue goal here in game number 2. And hey, time dwindling down. Who's going to make that game-winning shot? None other than Garrett G. But smart heads-up play there from NRG. I called it out less than a minute to go. They all just decided, hey, let's cover up the back line. Let's just let them push forward. And they got so over-aggressive in such a good mind game by NRG.
And, you know, Rogue, again, they tried to just force the ball forward on NRG's half. You were calling it out with either smart 50s or just winning every single neutral 50 and always having a player ready to follow up. And you talked about NRG at the beginning of that with their follow-ups being a little slower. And so Rogue had a little bit more space, but they just didn't have any success in front of NRG's box. Those shots never really came. So while the air dribbles looked good and they could move the ball down the field, NRG were really good at moving the ball laterally and keeping Rogue away from those dangerous spots on net.
Well, and it's also important for NRG to change the pace of the game, because once First Killer starts getting a sense of the pace, starts getting a sense of the flow, he starts feeling out the defense and kind of going, okay, I know when they're going to be there and I know when they're not. And a player like that, who's that good at ones and reading when the defense is going to be there for a challenge and when they aren't, is going to start to pick you apart. So NRG doing the correct thing of, okay, let's slow it down. Now let's speed it up to make First Killer and company just continue to guess on when we're going to push for the ball.
Turning into a game of who makes fewer mistakes. First Killer diving in front to stop a quick NRG score.
Squishy got that boost.
He did, and freezes Turo on the back wall. Taroko has to retreat. First Killer will have to pick up the save, and he gets the read off the bounce. So Rogue get out of a tough one. That was looking scary for a second.
Yeah, great boost steal there from Squishy to force Turo to stay on that back line. But First Killer, you saw him swoop in as that book shot went over Turo and Taroko, and First Killer swoops in, and you could just tell the faith was there, infield pass, but because Garrett and Squishy both double commit on that, doesn't allow Justin to push up as early as he should have, and it's going to lead to that turnover.
Oh, First Killer. First deflects the pass and then gets the dunk on the challenge. Doesn't materialize anything for Rogue. Nice pop from First Killer. Again, Turo space, but how do they utilize it? Rogue have not been able to capitalize on the amount of space they've been given by NRG. Because of this, Justin, the next carry, First Killer can close the gap, use the rest of the tank, but no pass can happen. Squishy on top of it.
Well, and then they're just saying, okay, they're going to tap the ball up like that at midfield, try and slow it down, and that's when we can strike and kind of try and break out of our own half. But Taroko pass up Turo, but a little too wide for First Killer to reach, but they're not done. Shot down low and turned away by RGE, and this is time for NRG. Go on the fast break and continue to win those challenges and get shots on target.
They'll have to retreat as Rogue took the ball away, and now Taroko takes point. Dunk beneath. First Killer tried to force the 50, but Squishy pops it up. Now Turo in retreat. Taroko stopping him quickly, and Garrett wants this push to continue, but NRG, that would have been a transition, and Taroko stopped it dead in its tracks.
Great job by Rogue to continue to just neutralize those 50-50s, but we've seen how complacent they can get because they're used to winning them. So as long as they can continue to cover up that back line, I'm all for it. But look how bunched up they got in that corner. Nothing came of it as NRG had to retreat back to gather up boost.
Well, First Killer tried to read it early. But Turo's got a little space to handle. Really don't know which way this is gonna flip. Squishy's flip reset denied by First Killer. And First Killer on save duty 4 different times now. Squishy, he's got a catch off the ceiling and can't get the pass out. Got the bump on First Killer, but Garrett was respecting the play. He'll get the ball, touch close to Justin, shot on target, 2 commit for Rogue. Squishy next up to keep the push alive for NRG. Taroko needs the clear. First Killer crashes into him. Justin plays it back out to the corner. Do NRG have something here? Can they punish Rogue for some of the miscues? No. The touches are always good enough to give them a little bit more time and get out of defense.
Oh, Taroko goes low, and Garrett G getting there. And well done from Rogue to come out on the other side of that chaos unscathed. Still all tied up as we near 1 minute and 30 seconds to go here in game number 3. And Squishy over to Justin. Justin shot a target, and First Killer again with the denial.
But again, another double commit. Rogue are getting panicky on defense. They have to be careful. Garrett doesn't have a lot of boost here, but wins another 50, and that ball will kick out. But Squishy collects that midfield boost. Justin deleted, but Squishy's got a full tank. Nice bounce off the corner. Another demo. Garrett next up. Shot on off the crossbar. Bounces in front of Taroko. Justin waits for it to come. And First Killer will get the clear out. Rogue, a tenuous situation on defense, and Squishy's going to do it to him again. Off the ceiling. Off the backboard. Taken away again. Justin, nice catch. In front. Pass in front of the Garrett. Pass shot. Never comes off the post. Rogue, how have they survived? And it's still coming. Justin wins another couple of 50s. Garrett flipping forward, desperately trying to get the shot, and he got it off the crossbar, but it bounced out. And NRG just can't buy a goal right now.
NRG are outshooting Rogue 6-1 in this series right now. A total of 12 for NRG, but Rogue has just been a steel wall on that back line. And somehow, some way, there have been so many shots on target, and First Killer has denied almost half of them. 5 saves for First Killer here.
Rogue have not had a clean defensive look either. The fact that they've come away with 0 scores on net, and now they're about to threaten at the end of regulation. First Killer, the pop. Rogue with a shot, and there it is! Rogue dropped the hammer on NRG and take a late lead.
Oh my gosh, what a catch from First Killer to turn 90-degree angle on that ball, get it back into the box, and Taroko stuff it into the back of the net. Rogue refused to turn away.
It doesn't matter if it's ugly, as long as it gets the job done. Taroko on the flip reset, too late of a shot. And taken away by Garrett. Turo, can he kill the ball? Well, Squishy gets one last look to Justin, and First Killer again takes away the pass. Justin finds Squishy, back over to Garrett. Can he get back down in time? Now it's coming right back to Garrett. Pops it up. Justin wants the read. 2 commit for Rogue. Does Squishy got this catch? He does. Over First Killer. Gets bumped off of the play. Garrett still keeping NRG alive. Justin, another one. First Killer's there. Squishy,
oh my God,
Garrett, and no, Taroko to Justin, on the ground. Finally, Rogue survived NRG on DFH.
How did they survive, Jorby? They came out in a sling on crutches, but victory is theirs. And NRG, it was pure offense in Game 3. When you look at the scoreboard, they didn't even have to play defense, but all it took for Rogue was one tiny sliver of an opportunity, and that's all they needed.
I was just, like, so many times I just saw Turinturo run into his teammate in front of the net. And I'm like, okay, NRG are going to score here. And I see Turinturo run into Taroko. First Killer's like, I got you, Turo. It's good. And I see Turinturo run into Taroko. And First Killer's like, it's okay. I got you. First Killer, every time. 5 saves, and some of them weren't even credited as saves because he just cut off passes where NRG definitely would have scored a goal. And I don't know how NRG kept meaningful play alive for so long in Rogue's half at the end, Subi, at 0 seconds. Like, that was still impressive regardless.
They had 9 saves as a team. If you split it up evenly, they all had savior medals. And guess what? 2 of them did have savior medals. That's insane. All 3 working like a well-oiled machine on defense. In Game 4, such an important moment here for NRG. They can tie this series up, or they can get put on match point.
Let's see if Rogue redistribute the saves this time around. If NRG will give them something to save. They've looked dangerous, but that inability to convert might come back to bite them unless they can get it figured out here on Utopia. And it's been ace combat on both sides. Like, midfield contested at every single challenge, Subi, and it's hard to tell who's going to come out the victor in any of these situations down the field.
Right. I mean, the amount of aerial play, like all 6 players are playing on joysticks right now with flight controls. They are mid-air for over half the time of the match, it seems like. And right now, I am just waiting for NRG,
oh my goodness,
to start hammering those shots in. Is Garrett G going to get a much-needed save? But right now, I think is the time, if you're on NRG, it's squishy watch, because so far in this series, we're in Game 4, and no goals, no assists. And sure, he's definitely doing what he can on defense and trying to get involved offensively, but we need to see some output from him.
Oh, Garrett tried to squeeze that one in, and Turo gets a perfect touch, a perfect dunk. Well, I guess a perfect dunk would have been a goal, wouldn't it? Either way, Rogue get the ball out of their half and into NRG's. Nice clear from Justin, and First Killer forced to dive for a save. Might create a spot here for NRG to put real pressure. And as I say that, Taroko just steals it away on the ground. Garrett avoids Turo, Demo on the backside, but it doesn't matter because Garrett's got the ball downfield off the pass. First Killer missed the ball off the crossbar. It's bouncing, it's out, it's off the crossbar again. And NRG robbed clean of any goal they could have had.
Oh, you said it earlier, Jorby. They can't buy a goal, and right now they don't even have any change in their pockets, but They're not done. The ball still in the blue half. Justin gets a demo on first killer, but Taroko coming in and hesitancy, the enemy right now of NRG.
If Rogue don't get punished, eventually, NRG have to find a way into this net. I mean, it's difficult. I'm not saying as if Rogue are playing poorly. It's just the gaps are there. The gaps are there, but those touches from Rogue just make life so difficult for NRG. Here's first killer. Wide double touch, can't find the net. But might not matter. Taroko cutting in front of it, and Rogue are now in full retreat.
And somehow, Jorby, after all of that, one half of Rocket League, and you and I both losing our minds at some points, it's still tied up. It's still 0-0. Both teams have yet to score. This is insane.
You know, it's crazy the different types of 0-0 games you'll get. And Rogue NRG just always happen to be that high-flying and insane fast-paced action with some touches and decisions. You don't understand why they're happening, but you're happy they are because you're more entertained for it. And it's been entertaining so far.
It just hits differently, you know?
For sure. But Rogue, you know, NRG actually trying to hit different off the crossbar. Turo, a finesse touch in front. Garrett, he can't find it. That's a meme at this point. It bounced off the inside of the crossbar, off the inside of the post, and you still don't score? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, Rogue hung up a no trespassing sign in their goal, and it's working right now. NRG not getting through that as Turo. Good 50-50 to keep that ball alive in NRG half. And 1 minute to go here, Jorby. Still waiting on this first goal, but somehow this has been one of the best offensive series I've seen all day.
Can Rogue find it? Oh, wasn't expecting that bounce, first killer, and ball will be bounced back to Taroko. NRG, again, so many solid looks. You can't count them out on any push they have. Garrett gets a little bit of space. Turo crashes, but this might be the push for NRG. Squishy has to wait for first killer. Can make the challenge happen, but the push is slow coming. Rotations have been clean from Garrett. Does he have the double? Yes, but Taroko is there to cut off the shot. Still NRG, progress. Justin, back over to Squishy, and first killer's there. Garrett coming back from his own half, and we'll be back to the corner.
Taroko avoided a demo right there and got the save on the ball. I mean, the wherewithal to just know what's going on the field as Squishy gets a pass Garrett, and there it is, finally coming to fruition on the infield pass.
Air delivery brought to you by Squishy Muffins. Here you go, Garrett. Package delivered. 1-0 NRG. Goals are only scored in the final 10 seconds of this match. That's the only time anyone wants to score. It was it 7 seconds for Rogue last game?
9 seconds. 9 seconds. This is the exact inverse of game number 3, and NRG coming out, and so important to tie this series up. Because when you look at what could have happened with how they were playing, the shots that were missed, 9. Again, NRG just peppering the net. And finally, the last 7 seconds find their mark.
There are some 0-0 games where it's a snooze fest. You're sleeping. It's hard to cast because, well, there's no shots happening. The defense is so good, I'm bored. But this 0-0 game has so much offense that I'm crying every time the ball bangs off of the crossbar, and I'm just on the edge of my seat waiting for a hard shot to rip off one half of the net and go in. I mean, there have been some crazy attacks down the field, but like Garrett coming up clutch big time in that third man spot more than a couple of times to keep NRG's push alive near the end.
I just can't believe the amount of shots that were so close to going in. And then finally, the infield pass comes out, and Squishy showed up off of the assist from him. Garrett G hammers it home, and now NRG looking like, okay, things are starting to work. The offense definitely there. The defense is definitely there. Now we need to figure out, is the accuracy going to be there for 5 full minutes?
I don't really know, man. Like, I don't know. We're going to see more NRG hitting the crossbar, or more Taroko playing big bully to get the first goal for Rogue.
Getting physical here in the orange half. Taroko going up and saying, bye, Garrett. You're not getting the touch on that. Good heads-up play from Taroko to turn off ball cam as that ball's in midair and just look for that last man back.
So, to break the trend of only scoring in the final 10 seconds, we've got to score in the opening 5 seconds. Perfect.
Well, I mean, they did basically in game 1, right? They're just going back and forth between what they want to do.
Well, what Rogue want to do is kick this ball out of the blue half. Well, they're having some trouble right now. Oh, squishy shot. Denied by Taroko, and a quick shot from Turo. Bounces off the post. And NRG happy to get away with that one.
Definitely. NRG had their hand in the cookie jar there. All 3 members push forward, and just a little slap on the wrist there to say, hey, don't do that again. They didn't get punished too bad. As Garrett G coming in and trying to go close post, and Justin goes up high, and that ball in. NRG working the offense.
Well, that's kind of what NRG were missing in the last game. Taroko got bumped in net. First killer misses the clear. Taroko's still trying to figure out how Justin's going to shoot that ball, and it's too hard. Justin's got pretty much the whole net to pick at. Top right, top left, and he didn't hit the crossbar.
Yeah, other than going close side, he could pretty much shoot anywhere because Garrett shot close side, forced 2 defenders to jump at it. So Justin, yeah, he could paint that canvas almost anywhere he wants. As Garrett G, wants another look at that one. Almost had the double tap, but if that first hit was on target, it was a goal as all 3 members of Rogue were pushed up.
NRG tried to push that one in. Still keep the push alive, too.
What a pass.
Found it into Justin. First killer gets the touch. So often he's been tasked with saving some pretty difficult opportunities, whether it be to cover his team or just to dive back in the nick of time. First killer has been able to answer the call.
Oh, nice touch there from Garrett to just break that play up. Because I was about to get bombed right back into the orange half. And sure, yeah, now it's back in the orange half, but it's starting to turn into chaos ball instead of a pure Rogue offense.
Another hard clear for Rogue. These quick passes. You just have to be so fast in midfield if you even want to challenge it. I think that's why you see both teams kind of lay off a little bit if they don't already have advantage in positioning. Because you do see them give up a lot more space, but they're always ready to take the ball away. So while the space is there for both teams to get creative, both teams have also just taken the ball away as soon as it gets to their half. So those hard passes, tough to contend with in midfield. While Rogue trying to push forward again into NRG territory.
Oh, watch that pinch as Swishy just keeps it away from the outstretched hands of Turinturo. But yeah, I agree, Jorby. The passes, the shots, the clears. After this series, I'm going to need a neck brace. These balls are just going so back and forth. It's insane, the rate of speed they're putting behind it as well.
Nice flip there from... it was a nice flip from first killer. Ball sent right back to his own half. Rogue just in clear and rotate mode. They might find a break here with Taroko. So not a lot of gaps on NRG's side. And a nice carry from Squishy. Hops over Turtle. Has to be first killer, but he punches the ball out.
Trying to repay the favor that Taroko got in the first 4 seconds of this game. Looking for a demo in the back half, and Justin snapshot there. Garrett G just going to go right down the gut and give NRG the lead.
Now first killer not able to get this ball out into a favorable spot. Tough to do. Justin was careening in front of that ball. First killer didn't have enough boost either. And that ball just popped right back up into him. Taroko couldn't recover in time. And NRG. 2 goals is not a lot, Subi, but as far as this match is concerned, it's a whole pile of them.
Yep, turns a molehill into a mountain, that's for sure, when NRG is playing the way they have been, because they haven't had to play defense here in game number 5. 0 saves put on the ball. So outside of that first shot in the first 3 seconds, nothing from Rogue.
And Rogue only 3 shots, yeah. It's despite some pretty good carries down the field and like some opportunities where you had some demos too. But you're definitely right. Like we're seeing first killer having to dive in front of the net more often. And maybe this is exactly what would have happened on DFH Stadium had NRG not hit the crossbar so much on some of those tough angles.
Right, and right now, you know, like we're talking about Rogue, yeah, they're in the orange half, but nothing threatening. At least not yet, unless first killer gets a flip reset. Double tap, not gonna come out. And Justin and Squishy have a fast break. Can they get the ball down fast enough? No, Turinturo gets back in time. Good defense to rush back, but still Nearing 30 seconds to go here, and Rogue still chasing one.
Garrett underneath it. Turo low boost. Got the first challenge. Justin's shot is good. NRG finding the mark every time they shoot. This time 3-1.
Yeah, and you can just see Justin lining up, okay? Don't go too high. Let's just hit it. Nice, solid contact right down the middle. And the accuracy there for NRG here in game number 5. And it looks like they're going to go up. Not only get a little game point above Rogue, but also put Rogue on match point.
Rogue finds something on this kickoff. Taroko, immediately broken up by Squishy. Oh, nice pass from Turo, and immediately broken up by Squishy. Much better game from NRG, and they hadn't really played a poor one on DFH. It was just accuracy as we've been, hitting time and again.
What a
NRG coming away the victors of Utopia and take match point. One more to go for the grand final.
Oh, baby. NRG feeling good after that one. And you look at Rogue, and you better believe tactical timeout probably going to be coming out after this one. And yet, as I said it, Corrupted G going to talk to his team. And you know what, Jorby? We can only speculate what's going to be said, and we're going to get to see all 4 members of the team kind of talking it over. But I just want to wonder what you think should be said to Rogue right now.
Chill. It's all good. I think a lot of times on defense, Rogue, they honestly didn't double commit as much, but they kept finding themselves in positions where they had to dive for saves. The clear wasn't good enough. Some of their touches were panicked, and NRG took full control of that. Like, they had absolute control on Utopia. And Rogue are that type of team. Like, we've seen them on championship Sundays run laps around teams, Subi. So I think all Corrupted G has to say here is, guys, you're all cracked. You're all great at this game. You play so phenomenally as a team. And they've beaten NRG before. They can do it again. And those guys know that better than anyone. I think it's just a quick gut check, quick mentality reset for these guys, and they'll be good to go.
Yeah, okay, so you say chill. I'm going to say purpose. Have a purpose for every ball that you hit, because right now, I agree. They're diving for a lot of saves and diving for a lot of clears, and the ball's getting away from them. They're not surveying the field and kind of reading where NRG are positioning themselves, and they're just turning the ball over when they don't need to. They can slow that thing down. They've got some of the best mechanical players in the world and arguably one of the best 1v1 players in the world in First Killer, so utilize that. Slow everything down.
Cool. And you saw that rebound. Typically, those weren't going NRG's way, and that's kind of, we're splitting hairs a little bit when we're talking about this whole match, because that really has been the only difference, Subi. Rogue haven't really been playing any differently, but NRG's touches have just been so clean and with intent, like you're saying you want Rogue to do more. NRG just have full control and full vision. So how can Rogue respond and force a Game 7 on Neo Tokyo? How do they break through this NRG line that prevented so many shots from happening last game?
Well, right out of the gates, you saw First Killer slow. Squishy got him with the dirty flick. Took a little juke, took a little drive, and he takes it to the house.
Oh, a nice pop flick. Right back off the crossbar. No way, get in there. NRG, 13 seconds in. Wow. All right. Squishy has come to play this weekend. Yesterday was lighting up the scoreboard, especially in the assists, but he's also been finding more and more space these days and putting that old Squishy flair on a lot of his touches, and it's made NRG quite dangerous down the pitch. Justin underneath. Turo, right back to Garrett, and Taroko there to cover the gap. Squishy next up. NRG want to keep that push going. And that touch will give First Killer a way out, but Garrett,
that's what I'm talking about.
No chance at it. Yeah.
Just touching the ball just to touch it, just because they can, when they almost turned it over right to the top of the box and gave up another goal. So just keep your eye on that ball, and while you're doing that, you got to try and survey the field. Yeah, it's hard, but these are the best players in the world. They have that ability.
Ooh, Garrett ended up kicking that one high out to the corner. Turo's touch, again, into space. No one from Rogue ready for it. Taroko getting harassed by Garrett on the back line, too. And now Squishy, full tank, full dribble, full carry taken away by Turo. First Killer got the pop downfield right in front of First Killer, and Taroko was too far back. And Justin steal it away. Another broken passing play for Rogue.
Yeah, right now, Rogue not on the same page. They're definitely in the same chapter, that's for sure, but I'd like to see all three of them just kind of knowing what one another are going to do, because we've seen them play like that, where they're almost playing like a clairvoyant, like, oh my gosh, how do they know he's going to be there? How do they know that his teammate's ready for the pass? They can pre-jump and do all those crazy things, but right now, just not quite there, and I'm ready for the Rogue that can bring it to NRG. Is Garrett G going to follow up with another pass of his own off the backboard, squishy up, and that shot a little too off target, and Rogue going to come out, but still not out of their own half.
They don't even get a chance to get some of these rebounds because NRG are so good at keeping it away from them. First killer, cut off on the clear. Squishy winning another 50. Oh, Garrett hopped right on top of that one, but Taroko covers it up. First killer collects that midfield boost, but the rest of Rogue are starting to starve. Taroko on 30. Turo's got nothing. He's going to need a little bit more. Squishy coming back down the field. Collides with first killer and Garrett. And it's more Rogue just going left to right on defense, but there's no forward momentum. Even right here, Squishy cuts off the pass to Turo, and there's just nothing developing for Rogue. Garrett shot on net. That first killer gets saved by the crossbar, and Squishy puts it in anyway.
Squishy, 2 goals here in game number 6, but off of the back on Garrett there. Nice shot, soft enough to go nice and predictable off of that backboard as Squishy cleans that one up, and NRG looking very dominant the further this series goes.
Rogue have to wake up now. There's not a lot of time left. If they want a game 7, Taroko deleted. First killer, the last man alive for Rogue. Oh, what a spawn, Taroko. Passed right to Squishy. And Turo covers the gap quickly. But it's all NRG right now, Subi. They just, at no point have they been put against the ropes on Neo Tokyo by Rogue. It has been full on NRG's game, period.
I mean, it's basically been like that for 2 games in a row, and I would argue 3 after the shutout in game number 4 that NRG had. I mean, they have completely stifled the offense of Rogue, and in this one, Rogue, nice save put on by first killer, but still, 1 minute, 20 seconds to go here, and Rogue without one single shot.
No shots?
No shot.
Oh, I hit tab as soon as you said it too, and just, wow. NRG.
I know, it's like, you don't believe me when I say it because it's Rogue. Like, no, come on, we're a minute to go. Yeah, they've got shots.
One of the most potent offenses in North America, held to 0 shots at this stage in the game. It just doesn't happen that often. It doesn't happen, I mean, really ever when you think about it. Rogue,
for real.
What are they? They're top 10. They're 8th in shots per game. So it's not, they're not lighting up the leaderboard in that respect, but still, it's Rogue.
Oh, absolutely.
Shows you how good NRG are, huh?
It shows you how good they are at reading their opponents. They can come into any matchup and take kind of game 1 as like a feeling out process. And I feel like that's what game 1 was for them. They lost 18 seconds to go. Rogue got the game-winning goal, and Rogue looking for a goal here to try and bring them closer to tie it up, but it does not look like it is going to happen. This has been all NRG for 3 games in a row, and Rogue had no answer.
Now NRG, full vision, full control, and a full spot in the North American Grand Final.
No way.
Of the Spring Major.
Oh my gosh.
Justin puts in another one for the road. Neo Tokyo belongs to NRG.
And GG's all around from Rogue. Such high respect between all these players. They've gone back and forth for almost a year straight. But this time, it's NRG's turn, and they have propelled themselves into the grand finals of the Spring Major.
I don't really care who comes out the winner between G2 and FaZe. To face this NRG team right now it's gonna be tough. Like, they swept Envy, which arguably some people would say would have been their toughest matchup in this entire bracket. Rogue gave them a little bit more of a fight, but those last 2 games were not a fight at all. It was NRG putting the beat down on Rogue. Now they get to wait in the grand finals to see who wins between G2 and FaZe. Get up, take a bathroom break, get a snack. We'll be back after the break.